The email from Sterling Capital Bank landed in my inbox at 3:47 p.m. on a Wednesday. Ms. Chen, we're processing a loan application listing TechVenture Solutions as collateral. Please confirm authorization to proceed. I read it 3 times, each time more confused than the last. I was 28 years old and the founder of TechVenture Solutions, a software development company I'd started 6 years ago in my apartment. We'd grown from just me to 47 employees. Last year's revenue, $28 million. Current valuation, $85 million. But my family didn't know that. To them, I ran a simple tech business, doing websites for small companies. They thought I made maybe $50,000 a year working from home. I called the bank immediately. This is Sophie Chen. I received an email about a loan application using my company as collateral. Yes, Ms. Chen. Your father David Chen applied for a $500,000 business loan and listed TechVenture Solutions as collateral to secure the loan. I never authorized that. Your father indicated you'd agreed to guarantee the loan as family support. He provided corporate documentation. What documentation? Articles of incorporation, tax ID number, revenue statements. Everything needed to verify the business exists. My stomach dropped. Where did he get those? He said you provided them. Is that not accurate? No. I never authorized my company to be used as collateral for anything. There was a pause. Ms. Chen, if this is unauthorized, this constitutes fraud. I need to escalate this immediately. Please do. I'm on my way to your office now. I grabbed my laptop and called my attorney James Park on the way to my car. James, my father just tried to pledge my company as collateral without authorization. Jesus. That's fraud, Sophie. Multiple counts, forgery, unauthorized use of business identity, possibly wire fraud if he transmitted documents electronically. I'm heading to the bank now. Can you meet me there? On my way. 20 minutes later, I walked into Sterling Capital Bank. The branch manager, Robert Hayes, met me in his office along with James. Ms. Chen, thank you for coming so quickly. We've frozen the loan application pending investigation. Can you tell me about TechVenture Solutions? It's a software development company I founded 6 years ago. We create enterprise software solutions for Fortune 500 clients. Current valuation is approximately $85 million. Robert's eyebrows shot up. Your father's application listed it as a small web design business worth approximately $200,000. He doesn't know what my company actually does. My family thinks I build websites for local restaurants. Why would they think that? Because I let them. 6 years ago when I started the company, they called it a cute hobby. They never asked for updates, so I stopped providing them. It was easier than constantly defending my success to people who'd already decided I was wasting my time. James leaned forward. Robert, how did David Chen obtain Sophie's corporate documents? He claimed she provided them. We have scanned copies, articles of incorporation and documentation, last year's tax return showing $28 million in revenue. He stole those from my home office, I said quietly. I have files there. He must have taken photos when he visited last month. That's theft and forgery, James said. He used stolen documents to fraudulently apply for a loan. Robert pulled up the application on his computer. There's more. Your father listed your company's assets as collateral: intellectual property, client contracts, equipment. He was essentially attempting to pledge your entire business without your knowledge. I felt cold. If you'd approved this loan and he'd defaulted, what would have happened? We would have had legal claim to your company's assets to satisfy the debt. He tried to steal my company. Technically, yes. If the loan had been approved and he'd defaulted, we could have forced liquidation of business assets. Hold up. Growing up, I'd always been the disappointment. My older sister Michelle was the golden child. Beautiful, married to a lawyer, producing grandchildren on schedule. I was the weird one who preferred computers to people. When I'd graduated from Carnegie Mellon with a computer science degree, Dad had said, "That's nice. When are you getting a real job?" When Michelle had gotten married, they'd thrown a $50,000 wedding. When I'd started TechVenture Solutions, they'd given me a card with $100. I'd spent the first 2 years grinding, learning to code, building client relationships, working 100-hour weeks. My first client paid me $12,000 to build their inventory management system. My second paid $35,000 for a customer database. By year 3, I'd hired my first employees and landed a Fortune 500 client who paid $400,000 for a custom enterprise solution. By year 4, revenue hit $8 million. By year 5, $18 million. My family never asked how the business was going. They just assumed I was barely scraping by, building websites for mom-and-pop shops. Last year, I'd been approached by a venture capital firm wanting to invest. I'd declined. TechVenture Solutions was profitable, growing, and completely mine. I didn't need outside money. Now my father had tried to steal it. I need to see the full loan application, I told Robert. He pulled it up. My father was applying for $500,000 to expand his restaurant, a struggling Italian place that had been losing money for years. The application listed TechVenture Solutions as collateral worth approximately $200,000. He'd undervalued my $85 million company by more than 99%. What happens now? I asked. We've denied the application and flagged it as potential fraud. The question is whether you want to press charges. James looked at me. Sophie, this is serious. Your father attempted to fraudulently obtain a loan using your business as collateral. If you press charges, he's looking at federal fraud charges. I thought about his casual dismissal of my career. About the years of being called the disappointing daughter while Michelle was celebrated. About him stealing documents from my home office to steal my company. Press charges, I said. Robert nodded. I'll contact the FBI's Financial Crimes Division. This crosses into federal jurisdiction. My phone rang. I answered on speaker. Sophie, the bank is saying there's a problem with the loan. Can you call them and straighten this out? There's nothing to straighten out, Dad. You tried to use my company as collateral without permission. It's just a formality. I needed you to guarantee the loan. Your little company counts as an asset. My little company is worth $85 million. And you tried to steal it. Silence. What? His voice was weak. TechVenture Solutions had $28 million in revenue last year. It's valued at $85 million. I have 47 employees and contracts with 12 Fortune 500 companies. You tried to pledge all of it as collateral for your restaurant loan. That's impossible. You build websites. I build enterprise software solutions. I've been doing it for 6 years. You just never bothered to ask. Why didn't you tell me? I did tell you 6 years ago. You called it a hobby. You stopped asking, so I stopped sharing. Sophie, please. I need this loan. The restaurant is failing. Then let it fail. You're not stealing my company to save it. The FBI investigation moved quickly. Federal agents interviewed me, reviewed the stolen documents, and traced my father's movements. He'd photographed my corporate files during a family dinner at my house 3 weeks earlier. They arrested him on a Thursday morning at the restaurant. Handcuffs, Miranda rights, everything. The local news showed footage of him being let out in cuffs. My phone exploded. Michelle called screaming. How could you do this to Dad? He tried to steal my company. It's just a small business. He needed help. It's an $85 million company with 47 employees. He tried to pledge it as collateral without my permission. That's fraud. You're really going to send Dad to prison over this? He's really going to prison for committing federal fraud. I'm just the victim who reported it. She hung up. Mom called next, crying. Your father made a mistake. Can't you forgive him? He didn't make a mistake. He stole corporate documents from my home, falsified a loan application, and attempted to pledge my entire business as collateral. Those are deliberate crimes. We're family. Family doesn't commit fraud against family. The extended family turned on me. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone had an opinion about my cruelty. Not one asked if the charges were true. The preliminary hearing was 2 weeks later. The evidence was overwhelming. The stolen documents, the falsified loan application, the recorded phone call where Dad admitted he needed me to guarantee the loan. Dad's attorney tried to negotiate. Your father will pay restitution. He'll apologize. Please ask the prosecutor to drop the charges. James and I met with the federal prosecutor, Assistant U.S. Attorney Lisa Martinez. What's your position? She asked me. Prosecute fully. He tried to steal my company. The fact that he failed doesn't make it less criminal. Dad's attorney looked desperate. Miss Chen, your father is 62 years old. Federal prison will destroy him. He tried to destroy my company. Actions have consequences. The trial lasted 3 days. The jury deliberated for 90 minutes. Guilty on all counts: fraud, forgery, theft of business documents, and attempted wire fraud. The judge sentenced him to 4 years in federal prison and ordered restitution of $175,000 for legal fees and business disruption costs. Resolution. The day after sentencing, my family held an emergency meeting without me. Michelle sent a group email calling me a monster who'd destroyed the family. I replied to all, I built an $85 million company. Dad tried to steal it. I protected what I built. That's not destroying the family, that's refusing to enable criminals. No one responded. 6 months later, TechVenture Solutions landed its biggest contract yet. A $12 million deal with a Fortune 100 company. Revenue projections for the year: $45 million. I was featured in Tech Entrepreneur magazine. Sophie Chen, building an empire while fighting family fraud. The article brought new clients and partnership opportunities. Turns out, the business world respected someone who protected their assets even from family. 1 year after Dad's conviction, I received a letter from him in prison. 4 pages of self-justification. The final line: I only tried to borrow against something I thought you'd barely miss. I never replied. Michelle tried to reach out once 2 years later. Dad's getting out soon. The family wants to know if you'll be at his release. No. He's still your father. He's a convicted felon who tried to steal my company. That's all he is to me. 3 years after the trial, TechVenture Solutions was acquired by a major tech conglomerate for $340 million. My personal payout: $290 million. I was 31 years old and one of the youngest self-made tech millionaires in the country. Forbes ran a feature, The Daughter They Underestimated: How Sophie Chen Built a Tech Empire. The article mentioned the fraud case. It became a viral story about family betrayal and business success. I never spoke to my parents or sister again. They'd made their choice when they called me a monster for prosecuting fraud. I'd made mine when I chose to protect what I'd built. 5 years later, I started a venture capital firm investing in women-owned tech startups. My first fund raised $200 million. Every entrepreneur I met asked the same question: how did you have the courage to prosecute your own father? My answer was always the same: I had the courage to value my work more than their approval. That's not courage, that's self-respect.